Hello park builders and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2. And we're back in Germany, and as you might see, this is my first speed build. We are trying, or what I wanted to try here is to make all the buildings, all the themes. So we have Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Biosyn, Malta, and the DMW. Um, Trying to build them all in one park. So we have like 5 themes. Like I don't know how it is in your country, but for example, when you're going into the zoo here in Germany, most of the time they trying to create different themes with the animals. So you have African animals, you have American animals, and all that stuff. And I tried to make the same here with the different Jurassic movies. And I try to use only the buildings from the theme, try to only place the dinosaurs from that movie, and also the decorations. And what you're seeing in the background right now is me building the entrance. I started on a very high point and thought to making the path in a is it an S or no? So you're going from left to right to left to right, and then going down the hill. So I flattened the ground, and now you can see me placing the red path. Actually, later I changed it back to gray path, but that's coming in another video, I think. So yeah, we're just placing the path, and I have to correct sometimes the ground because it's very tricky because I try to make it very close to each other, but when you use the flat tool, it's very wide, so it's bigger than the place I used for the path. But yeah, you see, it was working. And so you go in, as you can see. I'd always try to use only 3 till 4 of those white stripes. So that's actually like a little ground rule to make the perfect flatten or the perfect flatten to the ground. And I think this was the last turn, as you can see now. So after that, I tried to create the rest of it, and as you can see here, the path wasn't going like I wanted to. So I just have to make a little trick. Then I'm tried to make the flat perfect, and then that's actually the place where I'm going to be the Biosyn theme, but we will see that later. Very tricky with the ground, but yeah, at the end it all worked out. And what you can see on the ground, the gray paintings on the ground, was actually my. Um, it was for me, so I know where I wanted to place all the different themes. And yeah, as you can see now, I finished my path completely down to the lowest place in the park, And there are my 3 white lines back. So uh, I tried to get the ground as nearly to the pass as I could. But yeah, as you can see there, it's not so easy. It's a lot of doing and trying, and afterwards it works out. That's a perfect circle, or half circle, of course. And yeah, now we are placing some buildings near to the entrance, because when you go into a zoo or a different kind of park, there are always souvenirs at the beginning, and that's what I placed there. So I placed a gift shop, make a gray path uh, in front of it, so it looks a little bit more natural, because the buildings all have the gray path in it. As you can see now, when I place it, it's a very smooth overlay. And of course, always a toilet at the beginning of a park. There has always to be a toilet. And then I redecorate the building. But don't worry, I don't do it with all the buildings. But for this single one, I thought I leave it in the video so you can see that I also uh, put some ideas in that. Did I recolor it? No, actually don't. And then, of course, some decorations. I placed some fountains. And later I also placed some lamps near to the path. And my idea was to have a zip line from up there down, uh, or just where the path is going. I think I do it later. Now I made some rock texture, so it looks more like a hill. And I used the gray one on the right side because, as you can see in the background, it was also gray. And I used the more brown one on the left side, so also because of the map was already in this color. There I just trying to take another color, but I think I didn't like it and make it back. Did I? Did I not? I did not. And then I was trying to place some trees, but also I thought maybe that's not good for the view when you're up on the hill. So I decided to place some lamps. Actually, it also makes more sense to have lamps, because when it's dark, you want to have it light enough. And I'm trying. I'm just trying. Um, and yeah, then I placed some individual placeable trees, so it looks a little bit more natural. Or not. So when you build something like this, you always have to try. You have to try what looks good, what doesn't, and you can work with some paintings, some trees, some decorations. As you can see now, I use also some rocks. Everything that you think looks more natural, and yeah, I think it's very nice. And there you can see, though, on the upside there's a DFW, but later I changed it. Um, because the DFW isn't that big. So I decided to make the Dominion up there, and the DFW is coming very next to the entrance point. And we have Jurassic World, of course. Jurassic World is coming up in this place. And then I took another line. So on the right side of this line is going to be Jurassic Park. There is going to be the DFW. Yes, and yeah, just placing some path. So I wanted to look which way I want to go. I didn't know there, and then I redesigned the path a little bit, so I can place another enclosure on the downside of the hill. And as you can see, I was going further with the double path, as you can call it like this. And yeah, there's where we are starting with our first enclosure. Just make the path a little bit longer. And then I placed a viewing gallery right there. And then I thought about the zip line. But actually, I think I placed it wrong at the first time. Yeah, I placed it the wrong. So the outside, the outside is on the wrong side. So I make this new when I place the enclosure. And now the enclosure is coming up. And for the dinosaurs that I decided to place in the whole park, I made myself a list before with all the dinosaurs who are in the game and which kind were in which part of the movie, actually, because Dominion and Malta were both, or Bison and Malta were both in the Dominion movie, and the DFW was in the second Jurassic World and also in the Dominion movie. But I think I made a good decision, and then I had the idea of placing water in this corner. And there we have our first dinosaurs. So I think I was going for Sinoceratops. And what I did for the whole park, just because I wanted to, was, as you can see here, make all the skills up to the best setting. And then I placed our 4 Sinoceratops. Actually, later in the game, I realized that I forgot to turn off the no starving option. So I have to place all the stuff that the dinosaurs like to eat, like all the plants and all the prey and the normal meat feeder. Yeah, so now the guests can walk to the viewing gallery and seeing into the enclosure, and or they can go just with the zip line and riding down the hill. And now I just elevate the ground a little bit because it's always a little bit more natural when you do it like that, and it's not all flattened. And yeah, then I realized that my Sinoceratops, that the skins weren't as good as I thought, but I leave it like that. And I thought there's enough space for another dinosaur, so I was going for a sauropod, and I thought about, yeah, the Apatosaurus. Just setting up the skills up to the highest level. And as you can see, we have also Tyrannosaurus Rex and the Parasaurolophus, but those are for our next movie, where we are going to start with the Jurassic Park theme. And for the last design in this enclosure, I placed some rocks next to the water. Actually, I didn't make a lot of effort in the enclosures this time. It was more about having miniature uh, recreations of the parks. And for the enclosures, I use my normal tricks. Yeah, just like elevate the ground a little bit and placing rocks into the water and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I think we're at the end of our video. Um, so we built a entrance point. We placed our first enclosure. We have our beautiful Apatosaurus and the Spinoceratops. And if you enjoy this first speed build, I would be happy if you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next speed builds. And most important, as usual, have a nice day.